Hi, guys.
Oh, guys, it's just Bajo. Hi, Bajo.
Hi. I forgot my pass.
You gotta go fast.
No, I forgot my pass.
You were visited by the ghost of Christmas past?
What's that? No, I forgot my pass.
It would be great for my career if you stay on that side of the glass.
I know you can hear me. That's not what I said.
Hi, Bajo. See you in studio.
Guys? Guys? Guys! Oh. Guys.
Hello and welcome to Good Game. I'm Bajo.
And I'm Hex. Welcome back, Bajo. Together again.
Oh, it is good to be back, Hex. I have missed this chair and its unique groove, and I've missed the team and my cats and my PC, and I've missed you, of course.
Aw, thanks so much, Bajo. I missed you too. Now, of course, you were in Melbourne shooting a new show for ABC Me. I mean, how was it? Was it fun?
It was so much fun. It was really intense, and I learned a lot, and I met some amazing people, and I had a lot of alien goo just squirt into my face, like an unusual amount of alien goo, so I can't wait to show you all.
Right. It doesn't sound like you had much time for games, though.
No, I didn't, and that has hurt my soul a lot. But what a week to return. PlayStation VR is finally here.
Yes, it is, and we have a whole bunch of new launch titles to check out, so we'll have a look at those. Plus, Gears of War 4.
The fat necks are back.
Do you want to be honest, Bajo?
Oh, I'd love to, Hex. It's been a while. Can you name the game for this work week?
Perfect.
We're up in the Good Game office because we have the final version of PlayStation VR, the consumer product. It's the real deal. It's finally here, Hex. It's even got that new plasticky smell.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's out this week and there are more than 20 games available. So I thought we'd get things warmed up with a bit of VR worlds. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Right.
It's wonderful to see a ball in VR. So many types of balls. Oh, such ball.
This is like that game with the ball attached to the paddle.
Ball on a paddle.
Ball and a paddle in VR. The future! I can't believe they put so much detail into the menu.
Just into the menu, the ball menus. Ah, my face. All right, enough about. Let's get London Heist on.
Nice. Oh yeah.
Why do we never see the arm? It's always just wrist.
No.
Blah, 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 blah.
VR luge.
I want to see you luge.
Hectic.
Good luck.
Oh my gosh, there's a car. I can't turn. No! Light the cigar.
Oh wow, it did it.
That's amazing.
Whoa. Oh, I'm getting sick just watching it. Careful, man.
Oh my god, a rock. Oh no. Okay.
But
Private meeting. The door
who's
stays
that?
shut.
So are you like a mob? Dude,
I got another one disappeared.
ask him if he wants a cigar.
French Tony's dead.
French Tony's dead.
I had to let him go.
Some people just want to watch the world burn.
I am one of those people.
Victor Kozlov and his Russian money.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Do you feel like a momentum? Do you feel the sense of speed?
Yeah, you do. You do.
You know how you bring down a man like
Set his tie on fire.
and make him look a mug?
Mate, you're pretty hardcore. He's a hardcore gangster. He doesn't even catch on fire.
Oh.
I almost went to like put my hands on the table and be like, oh, it's head tracking. You gotta like,
Oh my gosh, it's like Pong.
yeah.
It's getting hectic now that it's bouncing everywhere.
And that's
Whoa. It's like the movie Ghost. How many hours would you play of this? Like 20, 30?
you about.
Put that in your pocket, maybe.
It's about
He's still on the ground.
I forgot you have no legs. Oh, yeah.
Oh. Put a bit of spin on that one. Oh, nice. Hey?
And that's what I see you as.
fam.
Kiss, 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 kiss,
his face.
Take more of a backseat.
his
Enjoy
eyes.
some of what we've built up over the years.
I should see his eyeballs.
You know what this is?
You know what this is?
This is the old business.
Oh,
Give me it.
hey.
It's all yours.
Give me it. One more. One more space ball.
No!
You lose.
Oh, the shame. The shame.
Back to space heaven.
That was cool. It was cool arcade fun, but I think I'm ready for some creepy ghost train action.
I'm always ready for that. Let's do it.
Until Dawn, Rush of Blood. Let's do this.
Is the game on rails?
It is. I'm actually on rails. Don't cry. I'm right here.
I'm sure she's fine.
Okay. Love a good old abandoned asylum. Ah!
Hey there. Oh, jeez. All right. I've got legs. Oh, I've got muscles.
I've got muscles.
Oh, wow. Oh, just like looking up at it, man.
Frere Jacques. It's always Frere Jacques. Oh, it's like all the way around. Hello, don't hide. I can... Hello.
Ding dang.
Shoot them! That's a big spider.
That doesn't even look like a ghost spider. That looks like a real spider.
This has got off to a very disturbing start.
You're moving fast, man.
Nice. Leave the pig alone. You've got bigger issues.
Yeah, alright. These are giant pigs, man. Pigs aren't supposed to get this big, unless I've gotten really small for some reason. Oh, gross.
Nice. Ah, you can shoot the pigs now. Oh, careful of the saws. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I like that. Ah, spiders.
Oh, this is not a good level for arachnophobics.
Hi. Hey, look, they're so cute though.
Oh, gross.
There's a big,
Oh, blood in my hair,
there's a
blood
big
in my
saw,
hair.
big saw coming.
Oh. Ah!
Pigman. Hex, careful of the pigman.
Why are these baby naked dolls filming me?
Whoa.
Oh, whoa. You don't know how you, like, it's not just...
Spiders in my face.
Okay, this is like... bending with my perception of reality, which I never enjoy.
What's happening here?
Oh, gross! Oh, that was awful.
That was sneaky, making you lean down. Yeah, that one's a little bit close.
Okay, this is fine. This is fine. I'm outside now. What was that? I can't really fast enough. I just stuck. Weird, isn't it?
Hi. Hi. Shoot the butt.
Shoot the butt.
Don't you poop spiders at me. And here's the boss.
Hey, dude.
Probably should have left the mask on. Ah!
Yay, that was so fun. I mean, not at all.
All right, well, that was our first crack at a proper PlayStation VR video game. It was called Untold Dawn Rush of Blood. Was it a Rush of Blood, Hex?
Yeah, I mean, it was certainly scary, the level that I played. And I think it's similar to what we saw with the Vive when we played the Brookhaven experiment, that kind of zombie shooter thing. It played a lot with light as well. It just... VR really lends itself well to horror.
Yeah, I found your level much more scary than mine. Mine was like, there's a thing, shoot it. There's another thing, shoot it. But yours, they used a lot of tricks to make things just kind of jump out at
Yeah,
you.
it's
Like,
that
I was jumping back too.
It's that whole thing of seeing something in the distance and then cutting out the light and
Yeah.
then, bringing the light back again and suddenly it's there in front of you. And that is terrifying to experience in VR, especially when things are coming from behind you in different directions as well.
Yeah, proper jump scares.
Bajo, I don't like this at all.
I like that you don't like it. It's actually pretty scary watching just from here, let alone VR. I do like how intuitive it is just to like aim and shoot. Like all of that just worked, you know? The tracking, it all felt like it was sensitive enough.
on.
It wasn't laggy at all. Things were hitting kind of where I was aiming, you know? All that worked so well. I just found it so impressive. Like as the first consumer like unit for a console, I'm really impressed with the hardware alone and just how it all looked and moved and how smooth it was and how detailed it was. Ghost pots! Ghost pots!
I was a little bit disappointed, I have to say, when I heard the words Untold Dawn. I thought I was going to be playing an Untold Dawn experience in VR. And of course, this is more of a kind of Ghost Train type thing.
It's a Ghost Train. It is literally on rails.
Yeah. Thing to the head.
So you can play that with a controller, but we chose to use the moves because then you can have two guns and you're just waving it around wherever you want. And
Yeah, I think that the way it works with the controller is because it has the light on the back, you can kind of just aim it as like one gun and kind of play that way, which is cool because not everyone has one move controller, let alone two.
Yeah, but it's also good that there is a use for the move controllers now, you know?
That's true. As far as peripheral technology goes, they're quite old now, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're still totally perfect for this.
Nice to dust them off. I also liked how there were a few moments in each of those levels where you had to lean and move. You know, I thought that was really cool, like a saw coming.
All of the head tracking.
Yeah, it felt good. Like it felt like I needed to do it, you know, and I could see it going past me. I felt that rush of adrenaline. There's something coming towards me. I've got to get out of the way.
Yeah, also in VR worlds when I was playing Danger Ball, that was incredible, the head tracking, because you can do slight movements with your head to put a bit of backspin on the ball and send it kind of zipping off in different directions. And again, the tracking was perfect. Like I wasn't having to move my head a lot as well, which I think would get very exhausting and perhaps a bit dangerous for your neck. Yeah!
Yeah, you wouldn't play a 12-hour session of that
Yeah.
in a row.
I don't know that you'd play a 12-hour session of anything in VR, to be honest.
I liked the luge game that you played because that was the subtle head tracking as well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that looked like it was quite fun. Was that fun?
I mean, I feel like as a concept, it got old a lot more quickly than playing something more kind of competitive.
Yeah.
Is this a good luge in this much traffic?
You're an extreme luger. Did you feel a sense of speed? Like, did you really feel like things were moving?
You feel the speed ramping up, and if you bump into too much, stuff, then you start to slow down and you want to pick up momentum and get a good time and that kind of thing. But I would say that one would be more of a gimmick and doesn't hold a lot of appeal, whereas the kind of more arcade-style competitive games, that they work quite well.
Something more meaty to it. I liked in the moments where my cart in Untold Dawn picked up speed. Like I really felt that inertia. That's what I'm looking for. Like I just felt it, and like it did make me a little bit queasy, but I didn't get sick. I didn't get proper sick.
Outside now?
Outside. I preloaded with ginger tablets, so that was good. But I didn't get sick, and once again, I think it is just that sitting in the same spot.
Yeah, you're sitting in the
situation.
same spot, and also you weren't controlling your movement in different directions, up, down, and around. You were kind of just being on rails is something I think that your brain can kind of accept.
Like being in a car,
Yeah, like being in a car.
Yeah.
Oh, giant spider!
It's fine. Everything's fine. Excuse me. We're just passing through. I really just like picking up stuff in VR.
Yeah, all that stuff was really accurate, wasn't it?
Yeah. Now there's a cigar in it.
Keeps your hands
There's a
free.
lighter. I like your piece. Thank you very much.
And, it is a seated experience, but at one point you did stand up and you could kind of move around.
Kind of see behind and
they
see what
still
was-
followed you. Like,
Yeah.
they knew where you were
Yeah.
in the space and they were still looking at you. That was eerie.
Hey, are you glad you hired me? Are you glad you hired me, buddy? I remember flipping the phone from one hand to the other, and the phone kind of flipped around in midair. Like, there's a few disconnects there, like programming things.
But
and
I think it was
they'll
pretty
get
good
there.
in that no matter how many times you threw stuff and got rid of it or whatever, as items that you needed and, to progress the story that other characters would reference and stuff like that, they'd put them back for
Well,
you.
how terrible the Sony Xperia phone is. I want them to go and get it though. Like I don't want them to reappear magically. I want them to go pick it up.
I mean, that
want them to
seems like
catch on fire.
a lot of resources wasted on satisfying your trolling budget.
I think that's what everyone's going to do. Like the first thing everyone's going to do in that game is try and burn something with that lighter that isn't the cigar, right? You
Right.
give someone fire, they're going to try and burn something. That's how gamers work.
Yeah, but there's also kind of moral implications. I don't think you should be able to set everyone on fire in games.
You can dust it off. I don't know. I think there's programming ways around that. I think it could be coded. I'm so excited though to see like how those kind of interactions evolve more than anything else. Like shooting, we've done a million times in games. Driving cars, flying spaceships. My guy needs glasses.
As far as VR setups go, I felt like this was pretty easy. The headset plugs into this box, which in turn plugs into one of the USB ports on the front of the PS4. Obviously, you need to already own a PlayStation camera as well, though.
In terms of hardware, it does add more clutter to your environment, a few cables, but I think it's manageable. It's not over the top.
Yeah, so I guess the question is, should you get this? Well, if you're interested in VR and you're excited about the technology, for the first time you can play VR games on your console, and there are a decent amount of games for you to try, and good variety of experiences too.
Yeah, and I think you can rely on there being more games coming. You know, like
Yeah.
they're obviously invested pretty heavily in this, and also it adds value to the PS4 and separates it from the Xbox One in that way. So if you're looking at the three big heavyweights in VR right now, HTC Vive, Oculus Rift, and PlayStation VR, this is by far the most affordable, and it's good.
Yeah, and by a decent chunk as well. If you're playing VR on PC, you're kind of getting up into the thousands, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And really, it's all going to be about that long-term support, you know? So we get some really interesting design over the years. Imagine what VR would be in 5 years from now if this gets supported really well. So hopefully that will happen. I'm not scared. Whatever. Where the ghosts at?
It's been 5 years since Gears of War 3 wrapped up the original trilogy, but now the gears are turning once more with Gears of War 4.
Come on, we're almost there.
Now, at the time of recording, the Versus multiplayer wasn't live, so today we're just going to look at the campaign and Horde mode.
Yes, it is worth noting though that similar to what happened with Halo, the original developers at Epic Games have moved on. So Microsoft have actually set up an entire studio, the Coalition, exclusively dedicated to making Gears of War games.
Yeah, so if you like Gears games, then that's good news for you. There's probably going to be a lot coming. And following a solid remastering of the original game, this is their first crack at creating a brand new entry into the series.
Yeah, and in a way the story kind of reflects that passing of the torch. It takes place 25 years after the original trilogy, when the Locust threat was stopped by the coalition of ordered governments, aka COG, and its group of elite soldiers, the Gears. But it seems like the giant bomb used to stop the Locust has messed with the weather, causing these huge wind flare storms that now ravage the planet.
And in the years since then, the COG went right back to being a giant dictatorial pain in the butt, trying to force everyone to live in giant settlements, while groups of rebels went right back to rejecting them and living out on their own.
Citizen, you are not authorized.
What? Citizen implies we claim allegiance to a centralized authority. I think of myself as part of an anarcho collective.
Now, Gears is kind of the granddaddy of brown games, in my opinion, Hex, but there's so much more color in this one. The world is greener, and there's even flower beds in a Gears game, Hex.
Oh, this is lovely, isn't it? And meanwhile, our old hero Marcus Phoenix has settled down and started a family, which is where you come in. You're JD, Marcus's son, an ex-Gear who's decided to jump ship and live with the rebels.
Thankfully for his and our own moral compasses, the COG have started using an all-robot army, so you don't have to worry about shooting any fellow soldiers in this rebellious phase.
Ethically convenient and deadly. So yes, there's a whole new enemy to fight with these robots who rain down into battle from cargo planes.
Yeah, and I'm happy to say, these robots are fun to fight. And normally robots aren't, they're boring. Weaker drones satisfyingly shatter and explode, while bigger ones relentlessly push towards you before making a final kamikaze-style charge. And there's heaps of these little exploding balls of doom that roll up to you, pushing you out of cover. And I love that you can give them a little kick when they get too close.
Who doesn't like to kick some balls? But of course, it wouldn't be a Gears game if all you did was fight robots. So eventually you do come up against the Swarm, which is a sort of revived Locust army.
Yes, and we won't spoil the how of it, but they're back and they're pissed. They started kidnapping people and putting them into gross pods, which turn them into monsters. And the main plot focuses on you and a small group trying to get your people back from these things.
So right now, we go after my dad. We need him.
There are some returning Locust enemies, but they've all got slightly different names and abilities to mix things up.
There's also plenty of new foes to fight as well. with the fast-moving and squishy juvies swarming you to push you out into the open.
They keep dodging!
The tough and pouncy pouncers who leap all over the place and try to jump on you. And snatchers, big scorpion-esque monsters who will try to snatch you away into their belly if they get too close to you while you're knocked down.
I loved that snatcher design. It's so stressful when you or one of your squad gets snatched and you have to try and shoot the belly to set them free. I would have liked a little bit more visual damage as you shot some of those tougher enemies though. They just take quite a few clips to kill and there's no visual feedback on how damaged they are, which made them feel a little bit too bullet spongy.
Yeah, Gears is a bit old school in that way, isn't it? Just soaking up the bullets until they finally die. But when they do die, it's wonderful. The explosion of body parts and robot bits and things and the odd net fountain. It's always nice to see. One thing I would have liked to see more of, though, is the swarm versus the robots. I think there was maybe one battle where you see them fight each other. I just think it's a bit of a missed opportunity. I always like it when enemies take on each other in games.
Yes. Now, of course, there's a bunch of new weapons to try out as well. Some new submachine guns. A sort of rail gun that you have to charge up but can't leave charged for too long. And a shotgun that fires both when you pull the trigger and when you let it go.
There's also some new heavy weapons to play with. Like this sort of missile launcher, remote detonation kind of thing that fires a charge which hovers over the battlefield and drops down at your command. And my personal favorite, a giant buzzsaw launcher which shoots blades that bounce around. I think they did such a good job with all the new weapons. They're fun and interesting to use and they mix up the Gears sandbox perfectly, and I just never tire of that active reload minigame. It's always fun and always satisfying.
And the old favorites like the gibberizing Nasher shotgun. And the iconic Lancer make a return, because it's just not a Gears game until you saw a giant ugly alien in half, is it?
And you know, Hex, all credit to the developers on this one because they've nailed everything that makes a great Gears game. And it might be a bit odd to give credit to a developer for getting the basics right, but those basics matter and it could have gone horribly wrong.
And they haven't tried to reinvent Gears, which I think is a smart move for a developer's first attempt at a beloved franchise. In fact, we recently spoke to Chuck O'Shea, the creative director on the game, who spoke about some of the challenges of taking this on.
Gears is such an iconic franchise that for us it was about doing it right before we do it different. So, you know, it's such a huge responsibility to take on this franchise that from our standpoint, we need to make sure that the fans realize that we love and care and cherish the Gears franchise as much as they do. It started with having Rod Ferguson, one of the co-creators of the original Gears of War, lead the studio. So having him in the studio was a great help because where normally we'd have to do a lot of trial and error on things like, could we do this or do this? We were able to talk to Rod about, as you built the first 4 games, why did you make these decisions?
A brave group of soldiers, led by Marcus Phoenix, finally ended our Locust nightmare.
The original Gears had a theme of destroyed beauty. And we wanted to play on that and maintain a lot of the feel of Gears, and our theme was actually reclaimed beauty. So you get to see this nature intertwined with all this war-torn environment. And I think there's a bit more color than there's ever been in Gears before. But I think they've done a really nice job of making sure that all that stuff fits.
That's the last one.
That was Chuck O'Shea there. In terms of core mechanics, there's not much that's new. I think the ability to grab an enemy from the other side of cover and assassinate them was pretty much the only new ability that I noticed.
Another dead shepherd!
And I suppose shooting down blobs of cover from the roof is new too.
They've also managed to ratchet up the environmental destruction, especially when those wind flares come in. And we can probably thank the new hardware for that.
Oh, that worked!
Cover also seems more temporary than ever. Boxes get shredded, blobs burst, and railings crumble. And this all makes the fights more dynamic.
Oh, for sure. And I also like how they've incorporated elements from Horde mode into the campaign as well. For example, at certain points you'll have to set up defenses and protect an area against a few waves of enemies. And I can't believe I'm saying this about a Gears of War game, but I think they actually did a pretty good job with the story. The characters are more believable and relatable.
You're obviously hungover.
Actually, I'm still a little drunk.
There's some actually funny banter.
Oh, I think I got some in my mouth.
Plus, it manages to be both epic in scale, but kind of personal at the same time.
Go. I got this.
And there's a bunch of great moments for fans throughout the story as well. But the only thing I found disappointing, Hex, was the ending. It was just so flat. And I get that they're setting up for like another 30 Gears games, but there was nothing in it that excited me for the next one besides just leaving a whole bunch of plot lines unresolved.
Yeah, I was actually quite surprised when it ended. I was like, is that it? Where's the big hero cliffhanger moment? Disappointing. Anyway, let's move on to the new Horde mode, which they're calling Horde 3.0. The basics are the same. You and a team of up to 5 defend against wave after wave of enemies, trying to go the full 50 waves without everyone getting smushed, which is no easy task.
But there are a few new quirks this time. Firstly, before a game starts, you have to grab a fabricator and find a spot to set it up, which is awesome, since essentially you and your team get to figure out what spot on the map you want to defend and set up camp there.
Well, maybe we should put it here.
Yeah, this looks good.
And you can move it about too whenever things aren't working out, and things don't work out a lot.
Yeah, like when one of those giant snatches grabs you and you get eaten, and then pooped out again.
Yeah, it was a magical moment.
Oh my god! Oh my god, no! Oh, it ate me! Oh, it ate me! I'm inside it, and it just pokes me out! Oh my god! How am I still alive?
Overall, though, I really liked the design of the maps in general. There's lots of different ones to choose from. There's a lush green temple one and a kind of farmyard scenario. It was just more than your average warehouse, which I appreciated. Throughout each round, enemies you kill will drop power, which you can collect and deposit at the fabricator to spend on defenses or weapons. It's a shared pool of resources, though, and defenses are expensive, so you better hope your team are good with money. I regret buying that weapons locker.
Yeah, that felt a bit pointless, didn't it? It's like, here's just a cupboard. You just bought some furniture for our battle.
I should have held out for the turret.
I do like the turrets, and I like keeping them repaired. I felt like we got some cool little moments happening there.
Made the classes feel really useful when you can play an engineer and you're constantly repairing all of your defenses and stuff. That was cool.
Yeah, I'm not good with money though. I just kept buying all of those barbed wire things.
Man, you're right in there with the purchases.
Yeah.
The other big new change is the addition of classes. You can choose from Soldier, Engineer, Heavy, Scout, and Sniper, which will each get you a different loadout of starting weapons and access to different sets of skills. Engineers, for example, get perks related to building stronger defenses or making them cheaper. It's great that there are more specialized roles to fill now too. It adds more variety and it makes teamwork more important than ever.
So before the game starts, you can choose from a range of perks, which is of course based on the rules of how we make games in 2016, a collectible card system.
Yeah, even the way you open them is just straight out of Hearthstone. Cling, 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 bling. To get cards, you need to buy and open packs with credits that you earn from playing Horde or online. And of course, you can spend real-world money to get them if you want to.
So you'll first need to have acquired the card from a randomized deck before you can select its associated perk. And if you collect multiple versions of that card, you can even level it up to make it more powerful. Or, you know the drill, you can destroy extra cards to get the materials to craft specific cards you want. If you do spend a lot of time with a particular class too, you'll level it up and be able to select multiple skills, making you a Horde powerhouse.
Hex, on the one hand, any kind of system that pushes microtransactions makes me feel a bit uneasy and can feel a bit manipulative. But on the other hand, if this is a mode that you spend a lot of time with, it's nice to have some extra depth and something to work towards. And if you're not into versus multiplayer online, then Horde mode is a great option for you and your friends. It's still fun. I was surprised at how much fun Horde mode still is.
It's pretty overkill, but alright.
But we should wrap this up. Based on the campaign and Horde mode alone, Hex, what are you giving it?
Well, admittedly, Gears of War has never been a favourite franchise of mine, but I feel like you know what you want to get out of a Gears game, and this lives up to all those expectations. I'm giving it 4 out of 5.
Yeah, it's top-tier AAA cover shooting in all of its bombastic, gory glory. If you like fat necks and shooty bangs, this is for you. I'm giving it 4 out of 5 as well.
You're taking my people.
What?
Don't forget, I know what you were trained to do.
Bye?
So, dear viewers, did you name the game for this week?
You will avenge us all. I will not fail you, Father.
It was Taifu, Wrath of a Tiger, released for PS1 in 1999. As the last remaining survivor of the Tiger clan, you had to punch and kick your way to defeat the dastardly Dragon Master. And it's unnamed the game because Taifu was voiced by John DiMaggio, the same voice actor who plays Marcus Phoenix in Gears of War.
He's also the voice of Jake from Adventure Time and Bender from Futurama. Next week on the show, we head back to the 1960s for a mob fight in Mafia 3.
Hex, out of all the games this year, Mafia 3 is the one I'm looking forward to the most. It's just the cars and the music and the clothes.
Yeah, it's a nostalgic's dream, isn't it? But we'll reserve judgment for the review. Until next time, may all your games be good ones. Hex out.
Bajo out. So what's the biggest difference between working with Nick Boy and working with me?
I mean, he certainly made the place his own. I mean,
Yeah.
this chair alone has been through some stuff. But I would
tell.
say that you're both unpredictable in different ways.
Oh, really? How so?
I don't know. It's.
So I scare you more? Is that the thing?
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, all right.
That was actually really frightening.
Did he flip over the chair at all?
He just got rid of it entirely.
Right. Well, you know, he likes to flip over chairs. Maybe I should flip over this chair in his honor to say thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really see why
Thank
we
you.
need to
Thank you for filling in for me, Nick Boy.
mess with the furniture so much.
Salute to you.
Also, Gus jumped on it and he broke it a little bit.
Gus.